not even just the trial, but beforehand, you were very forgiving. How are you able to do that?
I know it sounds very cliche, but because of Christ, because I'm forgiven, because I remember when Jesus hung on the cross and he asked his Father to forgive the people that killed him. Nobody understands what it's like to lose a child more than God did. And he was able to forgive, and because of that, I'm able to forgive. And because I look at a little boy every day that looks like that man.
Patty, you and your daughters had a lot to say up there, and obviously you've been thinking about that moment for a long time. How did it feel to finally get to that point?
Oh, it was not what I thought. I've laid awake having conversations with him many nights. And I've probably gone the whole gamut of, wanting to jump through there and, choking myself. And but when I stood up there, it was like none of that stuff really mattered. There really wasn't a whole lot to say at that point because there's no words to bring her back.
How will you eventually down the road talk to Blake about what happened? How will you explain it to him?
Well, Blake talks to us a lot about what happened. And that's why I didn't believe a word Bobby said when he confessed. I was hoping he would. His name, that was the truth. But I think Bobby Cutts has lied for years and years. His whole life has been built around a lot of lies to be able to balance relationships with so many different people. He's had to live a life of lies. So honestly, to expect him in one day to become this honest person and to confess, I think that's not going to happen. I don't think Bobby's able at this point to tell the truth.
Will you try to encourage Blake to have any type of relationship with him, or to try to get him not to have a relationship with him?
Not till he's older. When he's older, and that'll be more his decision. I kind of feel like my job right now is to give him a truth, and we've been waiting for the verdict to be able to do that, to give him a truth that he can live with, and then probably each year have to build on that a little bit, because I can't just say, well, your dad's in prison now for murdering your mom. I mean, you can't say that to a 3-year-old. He has to have something to grasp onto, and it's not going to be a lie, though. Whatever, he has a counselor that's working with me to build something that he can live with and live with himself as he grows older.
Hey, you and Whitney actually both told me the other day you've been kind of biting your tongue these last couple of weeks. What have you been waiting to say? What have you been wanting to do?
I don't know. It's just I wanted it to be over and to just say that. I mean, whatever the verdict was, it doesn't change anything for us. I mean, I have different feelings than my mom does, but I mean, he's given us a life sentence. I mean, we have to go through. We have to go through the rest of our lives not having her, and no matter what he's given, it's not fair.
And he's given, this kind of became about Bobby and the lies Bobby lived and told, and to have to sit there and listen to some of this stuff that was being said about our daughter that wasn't true was very difficult, and to not just stand up and start screaming. But I had kind of prepared the kids beforehand that was probably the road they were going to take. My daughter never tried to destroy Bobby Cutts' marriage. Any destruction in his life, he created himself. He built a life of lies, and she just got caught in one of them.
Patty, this trial is obviously a roller coaster, highs and lows. Can you singularly point to a moment where you were at the lowest and a point at which you felt the case was strongest and you were happiest? If that is a way, if there's a way to be that,
I don't know there was any point where I felt high through any of this. I think the hardest day for me was the day that Kelly Cutts testified. That was a real because she and my daughter had talked a lot, and there'd never been, you know, they both had come to the conclusion that they'd both been lied to. And that was some of the stuff that she had said was really difficult for me, especially knowing my daughter.
And let me ask you, you talked about forgiveness. When you stood up there, were you trying to sway the judge in any way when you said, "I forgive"? And was there a sentence that you were hoping for with the forgiving heart?
I don't know that if it were a day or a million years, it would have changed anything. I just don't know how to express it, but nothing brings her back.
Would death have been more vindicating?
Oh, no. That was not on my agenda. I did not want that.